doing business in Africa. You can't afford to be without Africa Investor.
Welcome back, everybody. And again, on behalf of Africa Investor, Africa PLC, and the African Tech Summit, welcome to this panel, this Africa Investor RegTech Investors Consultative Summit panel on investability and bringing the models to market. My name is Hubert Danso, and I'm the CEO and Chairman of Africa Investor and Africa PLC and the African Union's Continental Business Network. And I'm going to be chairing this particular roundtable panel with a focus on how the RegTech industry, RegTech investors in particular, can support investable business models that support the African continental free trade area. We've just heard and had an excellent consultation on setting the stage for RegTech in Africa in terms of identifying key trends, problems and opportunities that are driving the need for RegTech solutions and how they can support the African continental free trade area. But for this particular panel, our RegTech investors consultation has drawn a number of different perspectives to date. And what we've arrived at to date through our consultations with RegTech investors are three major observations. The first observation from our RegTech investor consultations, which our panelists here today are either going to, well, first of all, they're going to discuss it. Secondly, they're either going to agree with it, or thirdly, they're going to debunk it. So the first key observation that we've had from our RegTech investors today is that RegTech as an investment universe needs to be broken down and distinguished into two categories: RegTech venture investors and RegTech corporate or larger investors. And I'm sure colleagues on the panel will go into a bit more detail on that. The second key observation has been that the market definition needs to mean scale. What do we mean by that? What we're talking now is the suggestion that there needs to be a more horizontal rather than a vertical approach. Governments around the world have the opportunity to solve RegTech related problems by not just coming specifically at the RegTech problem, because then the market opportunity may not be big enough. And one of the examples given there was Mexico, where Mexico digitalized all of the invoicing so that it actually had to be automated and electronic invoicing. And as a consequence of that, created very large pools of data that RegTech innovators and developers could then begin to apply their innovation and bright ideas about how they can solve problems as a consequence of that. And then the third big observation that we've had to date from our RegTech investors is that the go-to-market, and this might be a little controversial, the go-to-market philosophy is different for RegTech investors versus RegTech developers. And the suggestion here is that the go-to-market preconditions for investors means the existence of regulation and clear standards that foster minimum viable products to be scaled or proof of concepts to be scaled. However, the suggestion is that the go-to-market preconditions for RegTech companies is more aspirational and based on their belief that their RegTech solution can solve the same problem across multiple jurisdictions. What do they say? A definition of an entrepreneur is the pursuit of an idea that no one believes will work but you. And that's how the world is built and economies have grown. So to address these particular issues, I'm once again joined by an elite and accomplished group of discussion leaders. We have Mr. Alan Jetha, who is the partner at Dentons, a major law firm operating globally and across the African continent. We have Jason Blackman, who is the Senior Director for Customs, Trade and Compliance and Regulatory Affairs at DHL Express in Africa. We have Kenneth Goodwin, who is the Senior Managing Principal and Founder at Genesis out of New York. We have Ramonda Kirktep-Muller, who is the CEO and founder of Moninos. And we have Chris Southworth, who is the Secretary General of the ICC. If you really want to fight for something, it's always good to bring a general. So I'm glad that we have a Secretary General with us in this particular context. I think what's become very clear with what you're saying is it's a mission, it's almost a calling, it's a commitment, it's refusing to lose. And we certainly refuse to lose to create a better future for the next generations. And we passionately believe that, you know, we can do this in close collaboration and partnership with all facets of society, civil society, business, policymakers, and governments. But again,
and in Africa, you've had many successful stories and many enormously successful projects that could definitely be taken cross-border. Absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, with those remarks, Ramonda, and the fact that we do not have any questions and answers, and coupled with the fact that we are over time, I'm going to move towards closing this RegTech Investors Consultative Summit. But before I do, I'm going to call on Ashley, if she could please present the results from the final poll. My goodness, once again, very overwhelming support for a call for partnerships. And it almost brings me to the African adage, where we believe very passionately that it takes a village to raise a child. And RegTech is a child, you know, a very nascent, very early stage. And according to the results of the poll and all of you around this table and logging in from all around the world, I think you've endorsed the fact that, you know, we all will accomplish this together. So with that said, I'd like to thank each and every one of you, speakers, people that have logged in, people that are viewing. We count on your continued support to help us meet our objectives of bringing, you know, very positive contributions to create an environment for technology more generally, and RegTech more specifically, to contribute towards the overall success and sustainability of the African Continental Free Trade Area. I'd also like to thank Ashley and her phenomenal team and the African Tech Summit for their partnership on this particular successful event. And we look forward to working with each and every one of you going forward. So with that said, I formally bring this Africa Investor RegTech Consultative Summit to a close. Keep safe, everybody, and we look forward to speaking soon. All the best.
Doing business in Africa, you can't afford to be without Africa Investor.